It begins in silence. Not the quiet you know, the absence of voices, of cars passing by, of the world winding down at night. No, this is deeper. This is the kind of silence that presses against your chest. A silence so vast, so final, it doesn't leave space for breath or thought. It just is. Somewhere far beyond the stars you can see, past the reach of light itself, that silence lives. And in its heart lies a force that doesn't just wait in the dark, it devours it. We call them black holes, but that name doesn't do them justice. They're not holes. They're not even places, not in any way we can truly understand. They're more like scars in the fabric of existence, wounds left behind by the collapse of a dying giant, stars that once burned with unimaginable heat and light, now crushed into something smaller than a grain of sand. Not small in presence, no. Small in the cruelest, strangest sense. Everything that once was, now pressed into a point so dense, so heavy, that even light, the fastest thing we know, has no hope of escape. When something crosses that invisible line, the event horizon, it's gone. Not just hidden, not buried, gone. There is no coming back. The rules that shape your every second, that tell you what time is, how space stretches and bends, even what cause and effect mean. Inside that boundary, none of them apply anymore. It's like reality itself shatters. And yet, we're drawn to them, like moths to a flame we cannot see. Something about their mystery calls to us, pulling at a part of our minds that still believes in the unknown, in danger, in wonder. How can something be invisible, yet so powerful it can rip apart entire stars? How can it be completely unreachable, and yet lie right at the heart of our own galaxy, closer than we'd like to believe? Because one of them is out there, right now, sitting silently at the center of the Milky Way, like some ancient god who no longer speaks, but still demands our awe. Sagittarius, a star. A monster with the mass of 4 million suns, coiled in a space smaller than the orbit of Earth around its star. It doesn't roar, or move, or threaten us directly. It simply waits. And its waiting is louder than anything else in the cosmos. Black holes are not just a curiosity of physics. They are a reminder, maybe the most humbling one we've ever found, that the universe is not here for us, that there are forces far older, far stranger than anything we were ever meant to understand. And yet we try. Long before we gave them names, black holes were already out there, drifting, growing, watching, but we didn't always know. For most of human history, the skies were a place of myths, of gods and monsters drawn in stars. We looked up and dreamed of meaning, but black holes hid in plain sight, cloaked in perfect invisibility, leaving behind only their effects like ghostly fingerprints on the universe. It took a dying star to light the way, a star so massive that when it burned its last atom of fuel, it couldn't fight gravity any longer. It collapsed, not into fire, not into dust, but into something terrifying, a singularity, a place where everything it once was is now crammed into an impossible point, dense enough to twist the world around it into something unrecognizable. And if that sounds like science fiction, it did to us too, until we found one. It wasn't until 1971, under the velvet darkness of the constellation Cygnus, that we saw the first real sign. Something in the data didn't add up. A star was dancing, orbiting something invisible. It was moving too fast, tugged by a force too strong. And at the center of that unseen pull was nothing. No planet, no star, no light. Just a presence that made the laws of physics bend. That was Cygnus X1, our first true encounter with a black hole. It was a moment that changed everything, because suddenly, this wasn't just theory. These weren't just equations scrawled on chalkboards by lonely physicists with wild ideas. Black holes were real, and they were out there in the millions, maybe the billions. Silent, patient, hungry. But they weren't all the same. Some were forged in the death throes of stars. Small, if you can call something with the mass of 20 suns small. Other were something else entirely. Supermassive black holes, the giants, Titans with the weight of billions of suns crushed into a space smaller than our solar system. We don't know how they're born. We don't know when they first appeared. We only know that they sit at the center of every great galaxy, like dark hearts, pumping nothingness. And at the center of our own, Sagittarius A star watches still. It has been there longer than Earth has existed. It was ancient before our sun was born. It has seen stars come and go, civilizations rise and vanish. And all the while it remained, invisible, untouchable, eternal. Yet we chase it. We build telescopes the size of continents. We aim our instruments at the places light should be, but isn't. We search the emptiness for signs, not just to understand it, but to understand ourselves. Because in a universe that doesn't need us, finding something so powerful, so unforgiving, and still reaching for it, that says something about what it means to be human. Maybe that's why we can't look away. Even when we know the truth, that to fall into a black hole is to vanish, completely, utterly, forever, we still stare into the dark. We send machines to the edge. We simulate the impossible. We imagine riding the light that circles the event horizon, orbiting in frozen time, staring at eternity from inches away. It's madness, really, to be so drawn to something that would erase us. But maybe it's not madness. Maybe it's something deeper. Because what are black holes if not a mirror? They remind us how fragile everything is, that time bends, that nothing lasts forever, not stars, not galaxies, not even light. But they also remind us of our courage, of our endless hunger to know, to see, even when there's nothing to see. We build maps of the darkness. We create art from absence. We stand on a tiny rock in a forgotten corner of space and whisper questions into the void, hoping it answers back. And sometimes, it does. In 2019, for the first time in history, we saw one. Not directly, of course, but we saw its shadow, a blazing ring of light around a perfect devouring center. The image burned its way into human memory, like the first photograph of Earth from space once did. A reminder that we are small, but not insignificant, that even the most unreachable mysteries can be touched if we dare to reach far enough. Still, the truth is sobering. We don't know what lies beyond the event horizon. Maybe nothing. Maybe something stranger than anything we've ever imagined. Some think black holes lead to other universes. Others believe they hold the key to time travel, or that they're the endpoints of everything that ever mattered. The reality? We don't know, and we may never know. But that's okay. Some things aren't meant to be solved. Some mysteries are meant to pull us forward, to make us ask better questions, build better tools, dream bigger dreams. Black holes aren't just terrifying. They're beautiful, in the way cliffs are beautiful, or the deep ocean. They remind us that the universe is not tame, that it was never made for us, and yet here we are, trying to understand it anyway. And that might be the most incredible part of all, that in the face of darkness, in the presence of something so vast and ancient and final, we don't turn away. We lean in, we listen, and we wonder,